Lee's coming out for this. 100.
Yeah, this is only really within a few kilos of her best, but she's now moved up to this heavier category. For some athletes, that seems to make an enormous difference.
Solid snatch.
Yeah.
A little forward, but pretty good front opening lift.
A good lift to start the session.
Seems to be that the heavier the Korean athlete, the more consistent they've become.
Yeah.
The Koreans started off in pretty bad form, really, in terms of how many lifts they were missing. I don't know whether that's because they didn't have as long hair before. They didn't have as long before they sort of adjusted to the altitude, or exactly what it was. Although these heavier athletes didn't turn up at the same time, so I suppose technically they've had just as long as the lighter athletes did, but perhaps the coaching staff has changed its tactics given the horror performances that they've had so far.
Yeah, could have been.
Okay, Carlinos Leon now, 105 kilos. This is right around what we'd expect for her.
Very easy. That was a solid opener. 105 gets her on the board.
Yeah.
She's happy, skipping off there.
Yeah, I think she's got glitter on her face, and then I think coupled with a little bit of sweat, that's making her face shine.
Yep. She's definitely happy with that lift. So here's Lee again, the 5 kilo jump.
Yeah, it's not been a particularly long rest, but it's probably all she needs. That opener was quite light for her. Oh wow, can she stop it? Huh, yes she can.
Yep. Another one that was just a little more forward than the opener. She did have the foresight to run forward though. Let's see what she jumps to. I imagine less than a 5 kilo jump is a smart call for her.
Representing Cuba, Iryna Medina, first attempt.
106 kilogramos para el intento de la representante de Cuba.
So Cuba's coming out now for 106. She was slated open at 100, but bumped all the way to here. This 106 positions her pretty well. She's successful.
Okay, points to her elbows. Just letting the referees know that she's not got the strongest lockout, so if the elbows don't look fully extended, that doesn't mean she's pressing out.
Looked like a good snatch, but
yeah, it did.
Then at the very bottom made some adjustment where she pulled her shoulders and head back. That bar fell forward on her. That's unfortunate.
Yeah, there was more than a brief moment there. There was almost like a pause where things looked pretty good. And suddenly a fast adjustment put it out of whack.
Continúa los 106 kilos en la barra para el primer intento. La representante de la República Dominicana, Iryna Mejía.
Okay, I wonder if we're going to see the opening attempt now for...
first attempt, 106.
Is it Amaro coming out? Yeah, Laura Amaro from Brazil, 6 kilos. A few athletes bumping up. We saw Peguero move up to 107, the Dominican athlete. And it's not going to be long before suddenly the blues come out.
Nope, strong pull.
Yeah, can she hold it? No,
she's on the...
Oh, and we've seen, for the second time in our commentating careers,
the bar
a smashed platform.
Broken through the platform.
Yeah.
This is a a big issue because not only
Reset the barbell.
does this cause potential problems for the platform, it's going to be a big technical stop. It's going to take a while here to get this sorted out.
We will take a moment to change
That's
out the
not-
barbell.
Does that look, is that Zadruna Savickas?
Competitors have the
No.
best quality
No.
equipment possible.
For a moment, I thought we
Weight
saw
remains
world's
at
strongest man there for a
106
second in the back room.
Coaching for
IMA
Brazil as well.
Medina, Cuba.
So they switched the
Second
bar
attempt.
out, as is customary, to make sure the equipment is still safe. Everything works properly. I'm not
Are they
sure-
going to try and fix the platform now, or is that going to be during the 10-minute interval?
Tenemos una pausa en la
Well, it potentially
competencia.
poses a hazard here. Somebody walks forward and steps in that
Yeah,
hole.
that's
but
not particularly safe. It's just whether they
Yeah,
just take the risk of assuming that nobody's going to try and step off the platform. But if they'd made that assumption before the last lift,
And we are ready to
that would have been an even bigger issue.
1 minute clock running. IMA Medina,
they're just gonna start.
Cuba.
Yeah, there's a
Second
hole in the
attempt.
platform
Continuamos con 106 kilos para el segundo
Max, we
intento
saw
de
that
IMA Medina de Cuba.
by Kaki Asanidze in the men's 73s at the European Championships. And now once again,
Interestingly enough, he was given that lift.
yeah,
Whereas she obviously didn't. She wasn't successful. Very
that looked
solid.
so much easier than that
Yeah.
opening attempt.
Quite a bit more power, too.
There it is. Good lift, Medina.
Well, an interesting
Intento
start to the
válido para
session.
Medina.
So early on to get a hole in the
Stays on barbell
platform.
One more time, representing Brazil.
Yeah, just an odd
Laura
situation
Amaro.
there.
But I mean, we've seen plenty of competitions where an athlete walks off the platform, drops the bar, and everything's okay.
She wants more weight.
So,
Barbell now moves to 100.
The structure and integrity of this stage, perhaps not the finest we've seen.
107 kilogramos.
Yeah, a bit odd for sure.
Correspondientes al primer intento de Iryna.
Okay, so we're going to bump up now to 107 kilos. We saw Peguero bump up to this for her opener, so she is now coming out to take this.
No, got a.
Tell me that's not a vuvuzela.
I'm pretty sure that is.
Oh, good.
Just taking your time here. Set. Very solid. With a strong snatch. Brought that bar past her knees very well. Stayed flat-footed.
Yeah, she snatched as much as 113 kilos at her last competition. That was the Pan American Championships this year. So she is opening it right where we'd expect her to. We might see her put in an attempt on her third to go for a 114 personal best.
Yep.
Korea, third attempt in the snatch.
Okay, so Lee Min-ji comes out. Final lift, 107 kilos. This will be a 2 kilo personal best. Of course, she does weigh more, but even so, she's never made this weight in international competition.
That's a big lift for her. She was a little forward in the first, more on the second, but she's moved the bar back. Oh,
Wow, a
much
little
better,
hop forward, but she gets herself further forward than the bar was moving.
That was great. Really nice correction.
Very easy, 3 for 3.
3 for 3 in the snatch. Let's keep this going. 108, please. Tamara Salazar, Ecuador. First attempt.
Opening attempt now for Salazar.
3 de 3 en el arranque.
Will she take this?
108 kilos en la barra para el primer
The Olympic
intento
silver
de Tamara
medalist.
Salazar de Ecuador.
Yeah, looks
Salazar
like
wants more weight. That will bring up.
she's going to bump up.
Yeah.
Representing Venezuela, 108
Yeah.
kilograms.
Tamara
Diana
Salazar
Leon, second
normally
attempt.
snatches over 110 kilos.
La barra para el segundo
As an
intento de
87.
Diana Chirinos León de
She made
Venezuela.
109 kilos, almost as an 81. She weighed 81.1. She snatched 109 at the Pan American Champs, which she won, which is extraordinary to win the category, basically weighing as light as the category below. But it's going to be Carinas Leon now, 108.
Good snatch as well. First was good, second was good. She's making good progress here in this competition.
Good lift, Chirinos Leon.
She's very happy.
Un intento válido para Chirinos León.
Mejia now the athlete.
Chirinos
at
Leon,
108
2 for 2
kilograms,
so far.
automatic increase for her
We've only
second
had 2
attempt.
misses. been pretty good.
108 kilogramos en la barra. Para el segundo intento.
I hate to be the commentator who tries to do it, but we're on a 4-made lift streak.
Oh, the possibilities.
We've not seen any, I don't think we've seen a single double-digit good lift streak at this World Championship.
No, it's been a bit rough here. We've had a lot of unsuccessful attempts.
Yeah, a lot of athletes struggling with the altitude. Okay, so finally blues are out, 110 kilos loaded on the bar, which means Salazar, Tamara Salazar from Ecuador, will be out next.
Yeah, just like that, we're already at 110.
You know, we had way more women snatching 110 or more in the 76s, sorry, the 71s than we had assumed. And I wonder if we're going to find more athletes snatching over 120 in this session than we could have ever imagined.
Yeah, it's very possible, just from where we're sitting right now.
6 athletes to open, one of whom on our platform now, Tamara Salazar. This will be a personal best in this category, 3 kilos below her best as an 87.
Wow. That was incredibly strong. That looked like not even close to a last warm-up.
Yeah, and the way that she looked at that bar after she dropped it, she was almost disgusted by how light that was. The fact that she even had to try and lift that.
I am surprised how easy that was.
110 kilos. Segundo intento, Laura Nascimento.
Okay, second attempt now for Amaro. She put a hole through the platform, well, not through the stage. On her first attempt, she's bumped up 4 kilos now. It's a risky move, Max.
Yeah. We'll see here. She ran forward on the first because she was a little bit early.
And that did actually look too heavy rather than anything else. So she's put herself in a pretty nasty situation here. She's going to have to make her next attempt if she wants to put up a total.
Well, she's in the hole here, having missed those first 2 snatches.
Third attempt representing Cuba, Iryna Medina. Third attempt.
110 kilos en la barra para el tercer intento de Xiaomei Medina Roca, representando a Cuba.
Yeah, she's going to take this 110. There's one other athlete who has 110 listed, but we'll see.
There are 2 others with 110 listed.
110 kilograms, representing Venezuela. Third attempt, Diana
so Medina Roca bumped up to 111. Goes back to Chirinos Leon.
No, I think
she's also going to bump up, it looks like.
I will bring back Amaro at
so straight back out.
110 kilograms, third attempt. Representing Brazil, Laura Amaro.
First attempt was a bit forward. She ran forward all the way to the edge of the platform, toes hanging over, and then couldn't survive that and dropped the bar. That's where you see that hole in the stage. Second attempt was much closer as far as being vertical, but didn't have the height. Just got to get the power here and keep the bar close to her at the top.
Oh, wow, that's it.
Great lift for her.
Yeah, she looks around and celebrates. That was a huge relief to everybody in the building that she made that. She got 1 red light, Max. I have no idea what that could have possibly been for her. Her lockout looks so solid.
We see the jury glancing at each other, but no flags been raised yet.
Let's take a look at this from the front. Oh, I see what they're saying. Yeah, her left elbow moved. You can't see that from we're on the right-hand side of the stage, at quite the angle looking on.
Yeah.
But from the front, I see what the central referee saw.
That will bring back at 111 the automatic increase. And a change.
So she's on the board here, which is good for her. Definitely a bit of a rough start.
111 kilogramos para el tercer y último intento de Xiaomei Medina de Cuba.
So 111 is the weight here for Medina. She's going to come out. Missed her first, made her second at the same weight. Now she's bumped 5 kilos to this.
Oh, can she get up with it? She can.
Yep.
She almost lost that behind.
Yeah.
She had to very slowly move up. I think if she'd have stood up any faster, she would have lost that bar behind her.
Yeah, it looked like all of her body weight had fallen back to her heels.
111 kilograms remains on the barbell.
Precarious position, though.
But
But she's on the board here with 111, which is great.
Yeah, not a bad position to be in after missing her first snatch at 106 to come back and make those 2 second lifts. Very nice.
111 kilogramos para el tercer y último intento de la representante de Venezuela, Diana Chirinos León.
So, Chirinos León has 111 here. She was very solid on 105 and 108.
So this will be a 2 kilo personal best for her, and she weighs less than she did when she made it. Oh, she hopped back just a little bit.
That was close. It's about as close as you can get. She was just a tiny bit too far back on the catch. Bar was slightly forward
112
there.
kilograms now, representing Dominican Republic, Iryna Mejia, 112.
So we still have 5 athletes to come out. Neisi Dajomes has got 115 kilos written in. Liang Xiaomei, who will be up in a couple of attempts' time, has put in 113. Wang Zhouyu got the heaviest snatch on paper, is asking for 117. Marushchak, 116. And Iryna Dekha is asking for 120 kilos.
Yeah, she hasn't changed, so still early for that, but definitely that 120 is a huge opener.
Oh.
Yeah, it looks like she swung that a little bit from her hips. It looped just a little bit too far.
Yeah, pretty tall athlete for this category.
112 remains the weight on
As
the
you
barbell.
said, she pulled it with a decent amount of speed, but the contact that she made did send the bar relatively horizontal before it looped back around.
Continuamos con 112 kilos para el tercer y último intento de Iryna Mejia de República Dominicana. Cuenta con 2 minutos por intento consecutivo.
It's frustrating to be missing lifts, but when you're the first one to take it, you know, we don't know what the outcome of the competition is going to be, who's going to make all their lifts or not. So you always want to be sure to position yourself as best you can, even if you're, you know, a long shot for a medal. It's always smart to make sure the attempts you take do potentially position you above the other competitors. So she's taking this 12.
This is the 10th day of competition.
Would be the
here
first
at the
to
World
make 12 if that's the
Championships
case.
This evening we'll have another session, the 87A women's session at 7 p.m. Please welcome back to the platform, Iryna Mejia, representing Dominican Republic.
Now she took 1 minute. She has a minute remaining to get this bar past her knees, at which point the clock will stop running. So she has plenty of time. Her 107 looked pretty good. 112 strong enough for it, but looped the bar a fair amount. She's going to need to smooth out that pull a little bit.
Oh. Yep, almost an overcorrection there. Kicked out even further with the hips.
No lift, Mejia.
Okay, so now we
The
see
barbell
some
now moves to
changing.
113 kilograms.
113,
the first
the
attempt
declared opener
for China's Liang
for
Xiaomei.
We'll see if she comes out with this.
Now, Max, I know this is, of course, all hypothetical, but if you had an athlete who was swinging the bar out like that, losing it behind or forward, technical variations that you might think to prescribe for them?
Well, you definitely want them to finish the extension better, so snatch high pulls and power snatches and the like. Anything that can really force that extension and give you a little bit more practice with it. You get more repetitions in with pulls than you can with the lifts, so you can practice that technical element a little bit more. And then also muscle snatches as a movement we see as a warm-ups. Pretty common.
Okay, Liang Xiaomei out next. She's an athlete we almost know nothing about. She hasn't competed internationally for over 6 years.
Strong pull.
Yeah,
It was a little slower on the turnover,
yeah,
though.
it was.
I think a little more weight will give her some trouble if she's not capable of correcting that.
So back at the Junior World Championships 2019, as a 75 kilo lifter, she snatched 109. So 6 years of training, 6 kilos of body weight. She's already opening up at technically a personal record. And Max, it has to be said, those Chinese robes, I just want to know where I can get one of those.
Yeah, those are exquisite. 114. So
okay, Tamara Salazar, I believe, and I'm just going to confirm this now, but I believe this might actually be a personal best for her. Salazar made, 113 kilos at the Olympic Games. She took the silver medal there at the Olympics, behind a woman who's in this session, Wang Zhouyu, who's still yet to open up. So this is a big lift considering the drop in body weight, but her opener of 110 looked so casual.
wow.
As did that.
Almost looks like that should have been the opener.
Yeah.
Maybe even the last warm-up.
Last warm-up, yeah.
Very comfortable looking lifts from Salazar. That's impressive.
You know, the progress that some of the athletes in this session have been making this last year, it's just remarkable. I mean, it's not like she's a junior and progress comes super quick. And she's born in 1997, so she's 25 years old, but she's looking very strong. Here comes Wang Zhouyu now, an athlete who at least twice in her career has snatched 126 kilos. She did it at the Asian Championships in 2021. She did it at the World Cup in 2021. In fact, she snatched 125 kilos a further 2 times, but she's never competed as an 81. It was either 76 or 87. Now she finds herself right in the middle. This is a massive opener, the heaviest opener we've seen from any woman yet so far at this World Championships.
No, little forward.
It's exactly what I've said before, Max, about how she has more strength, more power than I think anyone else in this category. But she's just always a little bit, a little bit unstable, it looks like, overhead.
Yeah, it's surprising she doesn't get that bar behind her head better on the turnover. It's almost as if she never gets the hands to flip over backwards and position that bar behind her head.
Yeah.
So much power. The bar is up so high, it's almost like a power snatch. The speed it moves then seemingly doesn't really get where she needs it to be.
The last time she didn't snatch 120 or more was back at the World Championships 2018. Which she did win, but she was a 76 kilo lifter there. She is a 2-time world champion, an Olympic champion. She's about as good as anyone at this body weight could ever possibly hope to be. In fact, we'd probably have to go right back to the sort of 2008 to 2012 era, Max, to find a woman of this body weight outlifting Wang Zhouyu, back to the days where Kazakhstan and Russia were dominating this category. It's been a few years since then.
Yeah, she's certainly the modern equivalent of that. We'll see.
But an attempt at the world record, unlikely now.
Yeah, I was just going to say.
It's still possible. It's still on for Iryna Dekha. She's holding strong at 120 kilos for her opener.
Yeah.
So she took the 2-minute clock. She's had about a minute and a half's rest now. She made this look very comfortable in the training hall. She went up and made 120 kilos first time as well. So a little bit of a cut, presumably, to this body weight and some nerves. A bit of a shaky start. That was so much
a lot better. So strong, too. It's really unfortunate to miss like she had done that first one. It almost seems like a lapse of concentration because that lift was just textbook.
Yeah, she's far too strong to be, almost looks far too strong to be attempting lifts like that on the platform.
Yeah.
But she has the biggest clean and jerk here, and she knows it. So as long as she can stay within, maybe 5 or so kilos of Iryna Dekha, she should be all right. Although Iryna Dekha looks like she's almost poised to go for 128, so that might not happen.
Here's the first of the Ukrainian women. Marushchak, 116. Potentially also Going to get into the mid-120s here with a snatch opener that high.
Massive opening attempt here for Marushchak. In the past, her best snatch was 113 kilos. She did that at the last World Championships in Uzbekistan, so opening 3 kilos up on that.
Whoa, a little forward,
hard to save it. Forward and over to the left. But she just looks physically very strong, very muscular athlete. She shakes her head. She knows she made that more difficult than it needed to be.
116 kilograms, please. First attempt. Neisi Dajomes, Ecuador.
Oh wow, Neisi Dajomes now is just so many incredible athletes, one after each other, to go from Liang Xiaomei to Wang Zhouyu to Marushchak to Dajomes and then eventually to Dekha. It's incredible. Here comes the second of 2 Olympic champions. Dajomes, though, has had the fortunate move of going up a category rather than dropping down like Wang Zhouyu had to do. Finally, we get to see how well those two can actually do against each other.
Oh, yeah, she rushed that. You can see it right through the middle. Bar past her knees, and she was a little bit early on the extension. A lot of speed and power, but she's just not getting that transfer into the bar.
Second attempt, a 2-minute clock.
So she's going to follow herself. Unless she bumps to 17, potentially brings out her teammate Salazar with 116.
Right.
Unless Salazar wants more than that.
Yeah, it's...
she could lose that 2-minute clock if she makes that
both Olympic
move.
champions missing their opening attempts there.
Okay, so looks like she's going to take this again without bumping. Minute 28. Yeah, she's snatched 120 before, so this is still 4 kilos under her opener. Or sorry, under her best, yeah.
That was back in July, I think, the Pan American Championships was.
Yeah. Just has to make a little bit of technical correction there, I think.
Second attempt, 116 kilograms. Representing
Certainly didn't look too heavy.
Neisi Dajomes.
Segundo intento con 116 kilogramos para Neisi Dajomes de Ecuador.
Oh dear.
Shit. She's frustrated here. That's not the place you want to be in this competition.
No.
She's going to need to get over that 116 mark for sure.
116 on the barbell now.
It's also kind of tough because she's pushing her teammate as well.
Third attempt.
Salazar gets called. She is the lifter now, so her clock has started. If Salazar bumps up, it's going to give... Nope, she's going to take this. So she's seeing the opportunity. If she makes this 16 before her teammate, she'll be ahead of her in the snatch. By the way the last two look, this one should be strong.
That first two looked absolutely incredible. Very focused. That's a great day.
She's going to get red lights for that. I think the red arm pressed out. Oh, what a shame. She knows it too. She's not going to bother challenging that. You know, interesting to note, during the Ecuadorian lifters setup,
1 minute on the clock.
we hear
116
a lot of coaching cues and encouragement from the audience, basically right up until the moment she starts pulling.
Ecuador.
Recibimos al atleta de Ecuador, Neisi Dajomes, para
Very
su tercer
vocal
intento.
and encouraging crowd today.
Difficult situation now for Neisi Dajomes. She's going to bump up and try and bring out Iryna Dekha, who's dropped down. I think Dekha probably looked at this session and thought, I'm going to need to open at 120 kilos if I want to win. And suddenly, Wang Zhouyu misses her opener, Dajomes misses her first 2 lifts, and suddenly things might be a little bit easier for Dekha.
Yeah, you know, and one of the reasons for that strategy is that these athletes are primarily focused on winning this competition. So there's no need for taking extra weight you don't need on the bar. It just adds risk to the whole operation. So at 117, she'll be the first out with this. Positions her really well.
This will be a kilo personal best.
Wow, very strong.
Yeah.
Yeah, she has quite a bit in her.
Yep, she looks incredibly focused. When we spoke with her, she told us, and I mentioned this earlier, just how difficult everything has been this year because of the war that's still raging on in her home country of Ukraine. So not only has she had to fight hard to try and, just train properly, try and get here, but also she mentioned just the daily psychological stress of everything. But she is here with no injury. She's been focusing on her technical improvements. She looks to be in the best shape of her life. This now, do-or-die situation for Neisi Dajomes, the Olympic champion. She's never won a World Championships.
Oh,
there we go. There we go. She made the right decision to bump up a kilo, get the extra rest.
She did it. Good.
She stays in the game.
That is an emotional end to your snatch session. Miss 2, make the 3rd. You're still in the game, and you've got 117 tied for first right now.
And I believe she is one of 3 weightlifters at this World Championships who had never actually won a World Championships, but who had won an Olympic Games. The other 2 we saw win here. So we saw Miso Sona, of course, win his first World Championships title yesterday. Heidelin Diaz did it last week. But it's going to be very difficult for Neisi if she wants to move ahead. Here's a 5 kilo jump now from her opening attempt for Liang Xiaomei, 113 to 118. Ooh, wow, that was an impressive correction.
Yeah, a very slow turnover. We commented on that before, but she turned it over slowly, but more than before, so she was able to solidify that one.
You know, as she caught that, she sort of, she had the weight overhead, and then she just pushed her hips and her knees way forward to just save it. Right there she goes.
Yep.
Almost up onto her toes, but she's up with it, and that's going to move her up into the lead with that 118. We still have 4 athletes with attempts remaining. The 2 Chinese lifters have an attempt each, and the 2 Ukrainian lifters have 2 attempts each. It's Ukraine versus China here in this women's 81s.
119. Still haven't quite breached that 120 mark.
But a huge personal best for her.
Oh,
that's nicer than her opener.
So similar, though. She hops forward, lands on her toes. You can even see daylight under her heels when she's recovering.
Marushchak.
Perhaps that 120 call, taking 19 was smart. That 120 is going to bring out 2 reds, potentially some psychological baggage that can come with that kind of attempt. Athletes come out, and, so these numbers mean some different things to them.
Yeah. She told us that she'd snatched 120 kilos in training. She's clean and jerked 145, so she is right up there with the most that she's been able to do. Iryna Dekha, on the other hand, who's coming out now, her teammate would not tell us what she'd made in training, which makes me think that she's probably made something pretty big, and she just wants to keep that to herself.
She made another smart call here, dropping down to 120 from the 122 she had entered.
This for the lead.
Yeah.
That looked
so
almost as good as the opening attempt. Wow.
Yeah, that was a very strong lift.
Good lift.
Both of these Ukrainian athletes catching the weight with, a little bit,
120 kilograms.
quite a lot of their balance up forward on their forefoot, on the balls of their feet. But
China.
they pause there, they sit there on the bottom of the snatch long enough to just regain their balance before they stand up with it.
Yep. Both very strong. They have the ability to fight with that bar, even if they're in slightly less advantageous position.
And that was the first snatch that we've seen heavier than the winning snatch in the women's 71s. The world record, of course, by Loredana Toma, an athlete who weighs 10 kilos less than these women here. Just such a snatch specialist. But we've had one athlete move ahead, that was Iryna Dekha, and we have another 3 athletes who hope to do so. Liang Xiaomei is supposed to be out. Wang Zhouyu walked out first. Just a 2-kilo jump here for Xiaomei. Probably a smart call. The 118 definitely looked quite difficult. She made a very big readjustment in the hole, but managed to get up with it.
If she's successful with this, she can fight it out in the clean and jerk. She got 147 entered for her first. She's got to turn it over, though.
Oh!
Just a little too much. Looks like she stabilized it, caught it, but it still had some movement backwards, and then she just wasn't in a good enough position to fight with it.
121 kilograms, please.
And there's an interesting battle going on here, really, between the 2 Chinese lifters, because China focuses heavily on building athletes in Olympic categories, and at the start of the quad, they have to decide who those athletes are going to be. There are 2 of them here who want to go to the Olympics in Paris. Wang Zhouyu, walking out now, is the Olympic champion, but of course Liang Xiaomei, who's been training for the last 6 years since she last competed internationally, definitely wants her spot. So these 2 lifters are going to be doing everything they can to best each other. Right now, Liang Xiaomei is 3 kilos up, but Wang Zhouyu has this final attempt to move back ahead. This for the lead.
Oh, again, so close, just a little bit too far forward. She hopped forward on that.
She's so powerful.
Yeah.
She's almost, and I've often thought this, uncharacteristic of the top Chinese weightlifters, where technically she just doesn't seem to hang with the other, Olympic champions from China on the women's side or even the men's side. She's just a little bit more wobbly, a little bit less stable.
Yeah.
Bar path not quite so good, and as a result, she does miss a fair amount in the snatch.
Yeah, it could be that she's a little bit bigger as an athlete, so needs a little more time to fill that class out and learn to really stabilize everything and lock the technique in.
Yeah. Okay, so I would have thought this is going to be absolutely maximal. The 119 for Marushchak looked heavy. 120, her best in training. This will be an all-time personal record for Alina. 121 kilos to move ahead of her teammate, who has just asked for 122.
Yeah.
Just too far forward.
Yeah, jumped forward on that one too much.
Yeah, cuts the pull a little bit.
So Dekha's in first. She's locked in first place right now in the snatch.
Well, as it stands, Ukraine has got 1 and 2.
Yeah.
Marushchak has the silver.
Iryna
Dekha has the gold in the snatch. She's going to come out and try and extend that a little bit further. Another thing that's going on here is not just are the Ukrainian athletes trying to beat the Chinese, they're presumably trying to scare the Chinese coaching staff off enough to force China to not even bother trying to send an 81-kilo athlete. They can only send 3 women and 3 men. And if there's strong challenge from another country, they may not send them. Oh, wow.
That 120 could have been an opener, I think.
Absolutely incredible. Yeah, could have been an opener.
So
she takes the gold medal. An enormous 6 kilo personal record in the snatch for Iryna Dekha, the multiple-time European champion. She's never become a world champion, but currently she sits in a very good position. I mean, she now sits 7 kilos ahead of Wang Zhouyu, and she sits 4 kilos ahead of Liang Xiaomei.
Yeah.
She hasn't historically had as strong a clean and jerk as them, but she's also never had as strong a snatch as she does now. So who knows what's going to happen?
Yeah, Wang Zhouyu is also just such a monster in the clean and jerk. 160 in the clean and jerk is really, it's going to be hard to pass that. We don't know Dekha's strength in the clean and jerk now. Obviously, she's put some considerable kilos on her snatch, so we imagine that'll come up as well. But her best was only 137 before.
And Wang Zhouyu has, of course, dropped down a weight category. So, yeah, we really don't know exactly what's going to happen here.
Yeah, they may meet in the middle there in those high 140s.
Yeah. So Iryna Dekha from Ukraine will take the gold medal in the snatch. She went 3 for 3, one of 2 athletes to do so. 122 kilos. The silver to her teammate, Alina Marushchak, at 119 kilos. Then the bronze to the relatively unknown athlete from China, Liang Xiaomei. Wang Zhouyu, the Olympic champion, ends up with 115 kilos, 2 kilos ahead of her, though. Neisi Dajomes, the other Olympic champion. So that's also exciting to see. You know, it's very difficult, and we talk about it all the time, trying to compare athletes in different categories. But Wang Zhouyu drops down, the Olympic champion. Neisi Dajomes bumps up, the Olympic champion. And right at this 81 kilo category, so far, Neisi is the stronger of the two. Max, it looks like they are looking to fix the platform as best as they can. Well, in fact, as it stands, it looks like they're just trying to cover the hole in the platform that was broken by the athlete on your screen. Yeah. By just covering it up with a little bit of...
Ladies and gentlemen, we have a special presentation, please.
Just like a bit of carpet, it looks like.
Yeah, didn't really see much practical work done there.
Executive board member Sam Kaffa, and a very special recognition to Mr. Paul Kaffa.
So right now on the platform, Paul Kaffa, a man who has been coaching at 40 World Championships.
This year.
I was fortunate enough to have lunch with him earlier today. 10 Olympic Games he's been to. He's being presented with a prestigious award by Jalud and his brother Sam Kaffa.
Mr. Paul Kaffa.
He will be, of course, in the back room in the next few minutes.
Mr. Paul Kaffa is
helping
the first coach ever
his
to
athlete,
be inducted into the Weightlifting Hall of Fame.
As she's going to be competed in the 87 kilo category in an hour's time. And apparently, he becomes the first coach to ever be inducted into the IWF Hall of Fame, which is not something I ever knew. I think I just heard the speaker say that. I would have assumed that coaches had been able to make that, but no, apparently he is the first to do so.
That's impressive.
He's done a tremendous amount for the sport. Of course, we've seen him coaching, hosting enormous competitions with huge prize purses back in the 80s, and he continues to coach to the highest level now. He has one athlete that he's particularly focusing on who he thinks can be an Olympic champion. That's Iryna. She's competing in the women's 87s later today. She only weighs around 83 kilos. She is an 81, but the thing that he keeps saying to me is, we just care about Paris. We just want to get to the Olympics and then win it. So trying to make weight for this, not a huge concern for Team Australia there.
Yeah, we've seen a few different coaches talk about that, where they're really not focused on getting caught up in making the biggest totals in the classes they need here. Partly because they're probably a little bit more a shoe-in to get qualified for the Olympics, so they don't need to fight as much. They can spend that time and energy just building and getting ready for the actual Olympics.
Yeah, absolutely. So Max, the athlete who ended up putting a bit of a hole in the stage, Laura Amaro from Brazil, we were able to talk with during this World Championship. She told us that 2022 has been a very, very strong year of training. And she made, was it 110? I think she made a 109. She made on that third attempt, so has been good. Yeah. She said that adapting to this new bodyweight category has been tough, but she's feeling strong. She has clean and jerked 138 kilos in training. 109 was her best snatch, so she's done very well to, you know, beat that today by just a kilo. She also mentioned that when asked about her competitors, she said that she finds them all very inspiring athletes. It's amazing to compete alongside them in her second World Championships, which she's excited about, the fact that it's also a qualifier for Paris 2024. So excited to be competing with these women. So I think did they switch the barbell back, or did they just
No, I think
give it a proper clean again?
Yeah, I think they just rolled it off and cleaned it. They switched it out after it fell on the platform, presumably, to prevent anything that could potentially go wrong. But the platform has not been repaired, I think.
No, not at all.
I'm not sure how bad the damage was.
It's being inspected now from a few yards away by someone in the IWF. He's got about as good a view as we do on it.
Yep.
But staring at the hole, unfortunately, as far as I know, won't fix it. Hopefully, someone in between this 81 and 87 kilo category, someone's able to make a change, because it would be absolutely awful if another athlete ran the bar off the platform and ended up stepping through that hole. It would be pretty catastrophic.
We don't want to see that.
Now, I don't know if you've noticed, Max, we have Olympic champion Kinush Rustami sat in the VIP section, along with Bahrain President Asak. They're watching on this session. So just over 3 minutes now until we're back underway for this women's 81 kilo category. Now, I knew that Iryna Dekha was in good shape. We saw her clean and jerking up to 135 kilos in the training hall, which is normally a weight that she would perhaps only attempt on a third attempt at a European Championships or something like that. But the fact that she made it look as easy as she did, those of us who were there to see it all commented on the fact that it looked like it wouldn't even be an opener.
Wow.
And right now she's put in for 140 kilos for her opener, so she might be right in saying that.
Yeah, that's impressive. If she's put that much on her total, that would be fantastic for her. It's going to be a fight. Anyone with a big clean and jerk, even though the snatches didn't go in favor of Wang Zhouyu, her clean and jerk strength is formidable.
Yeah, she's about 10 kilos down on her best snatch, but of course she only made essentially her opening attempt there. In the clean and jerk, if she's down another 10, she'll still be able to make 150 kilos. She did 160 a couple of years ago. So if she's able to put up 150, you know, even still, I don't think that's going to be enough to do it. I can see Iryna Dekha pushing into the high 40s, maybe 148 kilos, something like that. That would force a 156 kilo clean jerk for Wang Zhouyu, which would be absolutely enormous. Within a couple of kilos of her best at a much lighter body weight, so that might be a little bit out of reach for the Olympic champion. But incredible that there's a very good chance that the two Olympic champions in this category are not going to take the gold.
Yeah, that's possible, huh? It's a very competitive session, actually. Not too many misses. Still a bit of red on the board there, but we have a couple lifters making 3 snatches. And then a large chunk of the group had made 2 at least.
Yeah, most athletes going 2 for 3, which is good to see. I think there was a session a day or 2 ago, Max, where we had no misses on the opening attempts in the snatch. We've not yet been able to do anything that quite reaches that level of makes, but this session is definitely up there so far.
The exciting conclusion of the women's 81 kilogram Group A here at the IWF
Okay,
World
so fans
Championships.
coming back into the building, retaking their seats. We've got less than a minute on the clock now before we're back underway, so everyone's turning back up to see what happens here.
Categoría hasta 81 kilogramos, Grupo A.
130 is the first attempt here. We'll see, though. That might change. Medina Roca, she did bump from 100 to 106 on her snatches, so this could potentially go a bit higher in the start. few seconds till that first lifter comes out.
Yeah, so she bumped her opener up a little bit. It was actually Lee Min-ji from Korea who opened things up. She went 3 for 3, one of only 2 athletes to do so.
Welcome back. 130 kilograms on the barbell. Iryna Medina, Cuba, first attempt.
In fact, it was the athlete with the strongest snatch and the athlete with the lightest snatch who both went 3 for 3. So any conclusion as to whether going 3 for 3 is the right thing to do can be thrown out with that. Medina Roca looks like she's going to be making a change there.
And
Can't see what the change has been asked for. 133. So that's going to bring out Chirinos Leon from Venezuela. She made 108 kilos on her second attempt snatch, missed 111 on her third.
Now the athlete, a new 1 minute clock.
Here we go.
134 kilograms on the
barbells.
Iryna Mejia, Dominican Republic.
A lot of changes.
134 kilos en la barra para Iryna
More and
Mejia.
more changes coming in. That's now gone up to 136.
Now the athlete at 135
So I think that will bring out
first attempt.
Medina Roca.
Medina Roca at 135. And there's 4 athletes who want 135 on their openers. So far, at least.
Time begins on Medina.
We don't see her.
No. Oh, there she is.
She is getting her knee wraps on.
And a change.
Oh, nope, a change again.
Remains the weight on the barbell.
Wow.
Representing Venezuela, the first attempt, Diana Chirinos Leon. And she wants more weight. That will bring back.
And again, it's going up.
Brazil, first attempt at 135.
We've probably seen
time begins.
Maybe 7 changes at the start of this session. Still, nobody is yet out, and it looks like again the changes come in. So difficult as a coach to know what these other coaches are going to do and to be able to time your athletes' warm-ups correctly.
First attempt, 135 kilograms.
I have a suspicion that
Lee Min-ji might come out.
is going to bump.
You think?
136.
Yeah, she's going up as well.
Well, it's the fashionable thing to do here.
And the change,
oh my word.
136 kilograms, please. Iryna Medina.
I have not seen
Cuba,
this much changing.
No,
in
we've
the
never
beginning
seen
of the
that.
session.
So finally, Medina Roca, is she going to come out? 136 kilos. She is.
She is.
Okay, that was exhausting.
A lot of drama.
Here she comes. Give her a hand.
Open 6 kilos heavier.
Sube la plataforma Iryna Medina de Cuba.
Very strong clean. Yeah. Solid opener. That 136 was a good call.
I think that's all going to be all right. It's only a kilo under her personal best of 137.
136 kilograms remains the weight on the barbell. First attempt, representing Dominican Republic, Iryna Mejia. Time begins.
Continuó en los 136 kilogramos, esta vez para Iryna Mejia de República Dominicana. Primer intento.
So Mejia is actually this lifter.
Yep. Yeah, it looks like Chirinos Leon wanted to come out there, but both of them have 136 kilos written in.
Got a bit excited.
As do Amaro and Lee Min-ji. Whether all 4 take it, we'll have to wait and see. Probably not. Wow. Very powerful jerk, steps way through.
Just needed to make a little side step there to balance.
Good lift, Mejia.
Intento válido para Mejia.
Yeah, one of the big technical differences that we see between the Chinese and other athletes is just the stability in the splits. Very well you'll see a Chinese athlete stepping over to the side to save a split jerk. Okay, Chirinos Leon from Venezuela. Venezuela have already had one world champion at this competition, Kedema Vainea, in the men's 89s. I don't think they're going to get another one here, but we may see personal bests.
Oh, just a little far back.
Yeah.
That bar crashed on her in the clean, but a good fight. Wow, nice jerk. Got that very wide grip, as we've commented on before. Makes that adjustment, moving the hands out, but it's almost a snatch grip.
136 kilograms, first attempt, representing
okay,
Brazil.
so the third athlete now coming out for 136 kilos.
Potentially
going to see 5 athletes taking this 136. So far, it's been a pretty successful number for these athletes. Nascimento Amaro now will take it, the Brazilian lifter.
She's determined. Pretty good clean.
It's relatively heavy. Just like in the snatch, she's not able to make her opening attempt.
No lift.
She missed her first 2 in the snatch, in fact.
136 stays on the barbell, please.
The clean and jerk.
Representing the
We've only ever seen her make 132 kilos. So she already got a personal best in the snatch by kilo. That, however, was 4 kilos up on anything she's ever done. She's extremely aggressive to be opening with.
Yeah, that's very heavy. So Li Minji here.
Her best, 139 kilos. She did that as a 76. So a little bit under her best, and she's a heavier athlete. So this should be a pretty good opener for her.
Oh, she mistimed the bounce on that. Just stood right up.
Oh, do not drop the bar. I'm getting a bit concerned with the hole that's in the stage right now.
Yeah, I think we all...
If an athlete drops the bar beyond that stage again, we're going to see... We might see the whole stage open up and swallow the platform with it.
Second attempt.
Yeah, definitely a precarious position. We see probably a lot more lifters here running forward. We did see that last night as well, but it's just an odd spot to have that hole sitting in the platform.
So there is, Max, right by where we're sat, there's a sort of, looks like, I don't know, 40 centimeters by 40 centimeters, an inch thick bit of wood that is resting against a chair. I wonder at some point if we're going to see one of the loaders in their incredibly athletic way sprint onto the platform,
I think,
and slide that over the hole in case someone does end up stepping on it. I mean, it's not a great fix, but it is better than right now where they've just laid the carpet over the top of it.
Yeah.
Okay, 136, 4 kilo personal best here. She missed this on her opening attempt. The clean.
Tough on the recovery, that stepping forward to get back under the bar. Better jerk attempt, but it wasn't there. It's out in front. So she's in a precarious position here.
It has to be said, I'm feeling a little bit nervous about the hole in the platform. A lot of these athletes have been taking quite a few steps forward from the jerk.
They're definitely tempting fate getting that close to it.
Yeah. And also, you don't want it to be the sort of thing which acts as a deterrent to these athletes to not go for every single lift. You know, we want them to feel as though they can run out the bar as much as they need to. But with that hole there, it's likely to put them off a little bit.
So she didn't catch a bounce well in that first clean. We'll see if she makes a better attempt here.
A little bit forward.
Look more comfortable though.
Oh dear.
Didn't have the speed and the split at all to get under that bar.
We've seen the Koreans really struggling at this World Championships. Few athletes have done okay, but in general, pretty much every athlete, I think, from Korea has underperformed, lifted worse than they've done at their previous international competitions. She snatched so well with the personal best at 107, but 2 misses now. She's in a pretty precarious situation. Laura Amaro, who was the one who put the hole in the platform, in the stage, will be coming out to take her final attempt. She made her 3rd snatch after 2 misses. Hopefully we see a bit of a replay of that now in the clean and jerk. She can come back from her 2 misses at 136 kilos.
She's just sitting in the staging
area. She's presumably going to go up.
Yeah, she's got about 30 seconds left.
We've got plenty of athletes with 137 written in, so
yeah,
it will
Amaro wants more weight.
Buy her some time.
Turns to Lee Min-ji, Korea.
So I wonder if Lee Min-ji will do the same thing here.
I could see that. I could see her increasing 1 to get that rest. 2 other athletes that have 37 that would be ahead, but
he also wants more weight.
Parego's going to move up from 37 as well.
Kilograms, please.
So this is potentially the opener
First attempt
for
now for Ukraine,
Marushchak.
Alina Marushchak.
So Alina Marushchak is opening up pretty light in comparison to her snatch. She took the silver in the snatch with 119 kilos, but we know that she's not maybe quite as strong in the clean and jerk. When we spoke with her, she told us that she'd made 145 kilos in training this year. She's never been able to hit that in competition. So I suppose only 8 kilos shy of a training best. Maybe this is the right opener for her.
Yeah, this would be about 8 kilos below her best. On the snatches, she has a tendency to land forward on her toes. Much better in the clean. That's a power clean almost. And a split jerk, a little bit uncharacteristic for the Ukrainian women. We see almost all of them power jerking.
Good lift.
Iryna Dekha will do the same.
Yep, that's a very solid split jerk though.
137 kilos on the bar. Please welcome back for her 3rd attempt.
Okay, this really is do or die here.
137 kilos para la representante de Brasil, Laura Nascimento Amaro.
Yeah, this is like identical repeat to the snatch session. She missed 2, made the 3rd. She's
Coach has his head in his hands.
Yep.
This is a massive moment for Amaro.
Gets up with the clean.
Oh, wow.
What a save.
Absolutely amazing. We've seen more athletes than I've seen in many other competitions missing 2 lifts and coming out and making the 3rd. Even on the clean and jerk, where it seems less likely because of the fatigue that gets built up from the heavy of the 2 movements.
137 kilos on the bar.
But she gets the total.
Yeah,
2 personal bests.
A fighter there. Missing 2, making 1. Wow. So another lifter in the same situation here. Lee Min-ji has to make this clean and jerk to stay in the competition.
Yeah.
137. This is 2 kilos off her best ever.
She's gained some weight since then, though. She's had 2 very different catches in the clean. That one much more like the first. Doesn't quite get the bounce how she'd like it.
Yeah, just did not have it this day.
So, unfortunately, that's the first athlete out of 11 to end up without a total 3 for 3 in the snatch,
Please,
0 for 3 in the clean and jerk, but she walks away with the personal best in the snatch, so
Dekha,
some sort of silver lining, I suppose. 5 athletes still yet to open.
Yeah, so this is a bit
Here
lower.
comes Iryna Dekha. Yeah, she's dropped it. You know, she knows that she's in good shape. She's way ahead in the snatch over the 2 Chinese lifters, and so I imagine she just wants to make sure she doesn't do anything too foolish, open too heavy and miss. So let's get a total in, and then let's probably wait it out.
Yeah, with that big lead, she just needs some moderate jumps here that are comfortable. Very easy.
She's got a great power jack on her.
Oh,
rides it down a
very
little
solid.
lower than we've seen her do in the training hall at this sort of weight.
She's good, though. She's on the board now.
Now you have to wonder if you're Team China and you've just seen that, you might be feeling a little bit more confident about this. We know that Wang Zhouyu and Liang Xiaomei have got pretty monster clean and jerks in them. Iryna Dekha has 7 kilo lead over Wang Zhouyu, 4 kilo lead over Liang Xiaomei.
First attempt in the clean and jerk for Ecuador's
So suddenly,
Neisi Dajomes.
with the jerk looking like that, maybe a beacon of light has opened up for Team China.
Iryna Medina, now the athlete at 140 kilograms. Second attempt, here representing Cuba. And to change, Iryna Leon, the athlete representing Venezuela. Second attempt at 140
Now, yesterday we only had one athlete over 140 kilos in the women's 76s. Today it looked like we might have 7 or 8 or maybe even 9. Iryna Leon snatched 108. She made 136 kilos on her opener. She told us she wanted to get into the top 3. It seems unlikely, but she's in a position to go for a personal best here.
Yeah, she hopped back, scooted back really on that pole, and then that bar just crashed on her
lift at
chest.
141. Give her a chance to come back and make that 140. Stays on the bar.
So that would equal her best.
Iryna Leon,
She did as an 87
87
kilo lifter. So it's pretty big now that she's cut down to 81.
Continúa con la misma carga para el tercer y último intento de Diana Chirinos León de Venezuela.
A 2-minute clock runs.
So she's got 2 minutes,
Con 2
but
minutos.
there's not really anywhere to go. 141 potentially could get her some time. Not sure if she needs more rest. She didn't
One more
actually
session
fight
this
with the
evening,
clean
beginning
as
at
far
7
as trying to
p.m.
stand
with
it up,
women's
so
87
probably
kilogram
not that
Group A.
exhausted. Yeah, looks like they're going to come out for this. They're just getting everything, well, worked up.
Resta una competencia el día de hoy a las 19 horas. Será la categoría hasta 87 kilogramos femenina, grupo A.
Got a minute and 14. Getting those wraps on tight.
And she's going to come out. She doesn't need
Please
the
welcome
full
back to the
rest.
platform, attempting 140 kilograms, representing Venezuela.
No, she didn't get up with the last one. She
Chirinos
didn't
Leon.
stand up with it, so she didn't exert as much energy as she may have done if she'd have missed on the jerk.
Looked to be the problem was the end of the pull. She really didn't stay with it. Tried to move a little bit early. Her feet. She ended up moving back from the bar, and so the bar fell and landed on her chest. She's got to complete this extension better.
One of the biggest moments of her career here. Personal best in this category at the World Championships final attempt. And almost zero contact at all, Max. Just pulls the bar to the thighs, and then it's a huge shrug and pull. Very slow with the upper body.
Almost over-exaggerated that correction. Slowed down too much.
People's Republic of China.
So
Wang Zhouyu will come out now. This is a uncharacteristically light opener for the Olympic champion. She didn't snatch as well, so again, perhaps another athlete who's coming out just to guarantee a total before she worries about potentially putting herself in a position to go for silver or gold or even bronze.
This attempt will just kind of close the gap between her and Dekha by 3 kilos. Very good clean. Yeah, and another textbook jerk from the Chinese.
Well, you know, she's a 2-time world champ and Olympic champion. And I have mentioned so many times whenever I've spoken about Wang Zhouyu publicly that she has the strongest pull on, certainly in the women's, Chinese women's team, potentially in all of Team China. She's up there with Shi Ziyong. She always makes it look as though she could power clean everything.
Yeah.
Pulls it very high and then she squats herself down. So from one Olympic champion to another, it's Neisi Dajomes. Neisi's 2 kilos up over Wang Zhouyu in the snatch. And she's looking to maintain that lead, equaling the clean and jerk from Zhouyu, 141. Now, Neisi made 145 kilos at the Olympics, but she is heavier now.
Very strong clean. Yeah, that's a solid opening lift for her. Good place to be.
Good lift, Dajomes.
Intento válido para Dajomes.
Now, the athlete that I'm very excited to see is Tamara Salazar. She looks so strong in the snatch. She made a 4 kilo personal best. And she's one of 2 athletes still yet to open. Liang Xiaomei is one of them. And Tamara Salazar the other. So Mejia, 5 kilo jump to 141.
Oh, it was a bit of a slow pull, but when she landed, she was way back on the heels.
No lift.
So, a reminder, something I forgot actually, we did see Tamara Salazar in the training hall make 145 kilos, which is monstrous. She snatched 110 in the training hall too, which turned out to be an opener here. So it makes sense that she would look to open with that weight. She's in the shape of her life right now.
I actually saw, I was told by one of the, we'll call them correspondents in the training hall, they saw some other lifters kind of watching her do that 145. And afterward, they looked at each other in a bit of panic, and then someone said, no, 87. So maybe they were a bit mistaken. Seeing her here might inspire a little bit of that fear again.
Come back to the platform. Third attempt, 141 kilograms, representing Dominican Republic. And a change, 142, please. Iryna Medina,
so
Cuba,
Medina will come out now.
142 kilos para el
She
segundo
made
intento de la
136 on her opener, so
Medina.
very big jump for her here to 142.
Good clean. Very comfortable. That's a solid second attempt for her.
And she really, exaggerates that. If she pushes the knees back so far she pulls, she almost has straight legs at one point. As she stays way out over the bar, gets a stretch in the back of the legs, and then initiates that double knee bend.
Yeah, she really gets over that bar quite a bit.
142 kilos
They've got the wrong lifter on the board.
Alina, Marushchak.
They've got the wrong Ukrainian out
Wrong
here.
name on the board there. This happened for them in the snatches as well. So both Ukrainian lifters want 142, so it should be Iryna Dekha. She should be able to wait there. Unless...
No, it should be Marushchak. She's waited longer here. 137.
So Marushchak first with 142. That's going to move her. She currently sits in silver medal position. This will bump her up a kilo ahead of her teammate into the lead.
Very strong playing.
There we go.
Solid jerks as well.
Yeah, 3 kilos below her personal best. And she is still a little bit forward in the clean.
Yeah.
She doesn't get a great bounce. She catches it quite high, but then she just powers up through the squats. She stands up incredibly fast.
Yeah, she catches that bar so high, almost. Are they doing a replay here? I'm not sure if the jury stopped here. She did get 1 red.
I don't think they should take that away.
Yeah, it would
that
really.
Looks. Are we looking at her left elbow there, Matt?
I think so.
We're seeing the replay here.
He's challenging mid. The coach.
You don't need to challenge now.
Giving a card mid review.
Mid review. They don't know what the.
I'm not sure.
He's waving it. He doesn't need to play it yet until they've made a decision.
Perhaps he's trying a different strategy. If he gets the challenge card in there, they don't have to reverse their decision. I don't think it makes sense that he would do that.
I don't think they're going to take that away, surely.
After review by the jury has overturned the referee's
Oh my
decision.
word.
They took that away
That's
from
been
her.
overturned.
Wow.
That seems incredibly harsh.
Yeah.
That looked like a pretty good lift to me. So Alina Marushchak, interestingly, now that the lift has been overturned, the coach decided to not play the challenge card. So perhaps it was a threat that he would play it, but actually he wouldn't. So they called his bluff.
To his credit now, he gets to keep that card.
Yeah,
so.
yeah. Okay, Iryna Dekha looks to extend her lead by 4 kilos to 264 kilos. This is a 5 kilo personal best from prior to this competition. Now, she doesn't look like she's got as much power in that dip and drive as we'd expect to see from her.
That jerk was nowhere close.
142 again on the barbell, please.
Yeah, 260 kilos. I'm not convinced that's going to be enough to win this. I mean, right now we have an opening attempt from Wang Zhouyu, which would instantly put her into the lead. So Iryna Dekha might not be strong enough to hold on to the massive 122 kilo snatch lead that she has. Here now, she missed 141. That's a much better clean. She's up with it this time. A lot of power, a lot of speed in the dip and drive.
Looks like maybe she's.
It's a bit wobbly.
No lift.
Yeah, that right elbow buckled. She wasn't able to hold it. She got a little bit wobbly side to side. So that's going to be a no lift there for the athlete from the Dominican Republic. And so Alina Marushchak will come back out and take this, 142 kilos. She was just overturned with 142. I think arguably the harshest call of the World Championship so far.
It could have, very well could have been.
Yeah.
This and Gasparion's jerk from last night.
Yeah, absolutely.
Another very harsh call. This 142 is a smart move from her, though, because her teammate looked to be
struggling as well with the same weight. This would move her into the lead if she makes it.
Yeah, she really doesn't have any justification for going any higher, so she made it last time for all intents and purposes. She just needs to convince the jury a little bit more.
That's maybe an even better clean than the last one.
Gotta be frustrated. Put it into the bar.
Now she looked pretty forward with that dip and drive, unlike her other couple of attempts.
Such a shame to have missed that.
But she does still sit in the silver medal position at 256 kilos. The issue is the 2 Chinese lifters have attempts remaining, one of whom hasn't even opened yet. That's Liang Xiaomei. who's still asking for 147. Wang Zhouyu's asked for a 9-kilo jump to 150.
We also have Salazar here sitting with that
not opened.
145 opener. We don't know what her abilities in the clean and jerk are. She does only have a 114 snatch, though, so she's a bit behind.
Okay, here's the leader in the snatch. This to extend her lead in the total. She's going to need more power in the jerk. And she just doesn't have it in her.
It's not there.
She's not driving that bar high like we've seen her do in the past.
It's not getting behind her at all either. Everything is forward.
You have to wonder if she's experiencing some pain. She told us prior to this that she had no injuries.
Neisi Dajomes.
143 kilos para el segundo intento de la ecuatoriana, Neisi Dajomes.
Okay, Neisi Dajomes now coming out.
145 kilograms,
She's likely going to bump up because if she hit that 143 that she had previously asked for, it would only equal the lead in total, so it would put her into the silver medal position.
So this is...
Salazar will open up.
This is a huge opener here, 145.
So this will move her into the silver medal position if she makes it, behind Dekha. We'll give her a 259 kilo total. Very big. I mean, she did hit it in the training hall. She made it look extremely comfortable, and she's coming out now for it.
Her best clean jerk is 150. So this is pretty big.
She is such a strong, powerful lifter. I mean, she didn't snatch quite into the medals, but her personal best she did make at 114 kilos, and she made it look extremely comfortable. She made light work of it. Let's see if she can do the same here now.
She's got 10 seconds left. Oh, wow.
Oh, my word. Oh my word, we so rarely see an athlete come from so far behind in the snatch to take a gold, but I'm beginning to think that it's potentially possible. It's just going to come down to the strength of these Chinese lifters. The two athletes from Ukraine have already ended in this competition, so everybody knows what it is that they need to beat. So the trailers in the snatch with the strong clean and jerkers now know what it is that they're going to need to put on the bar.
Dajomes has 45 here. She may take this to move into the lead above her teammate. Yep.
So Dekha sits in the lead at 260. A kilo behind her is Salazar, and a kilo behind her is Neisi Dajomes, who now looks to move back into the lead ahead of Dekha. I don't know. She's been called for an elbow touch there.
I don't think we saw a touch, but it's unfortunate.
Why did she get the...
No lift.
You can't challenge that because there's really...
Why did she get a buzzer?
I'm assuming they think that the elbow touch.
But to be honest, I don't think she would have...
No.
And if she had been able to get up with it, it would have been so taxing that she might not have been able to make the jerk.
Yeah.
Now, Max, what sort of shape do we think that Liang Xiaomei is in? She took the bronze in the snatch with 118 kilos, and she still hasn't even opened up yet.
Yeah.
Her opener that she's put in would put her straight into the lead.
Yeah, 147 is huge.
And she wants more weight. That will bring the barbell back to Neisi Dajomes.
So Neisi Dajomes had her clock stolen by the Cuban lifter, who's bumped up even further to 147. So Neisi would have to... In fact, there's not really anything she can do.
No.
If she bumps to 146, she'll have her clock taken by her teammate.
Yeah, she's got to take this. Yeah, she's going to bump.
Tamara Salazar.
What's she going to bump to?
146.
Well, I don't know why.
It's not going to last long. She's only going to get a moment's rest here.
Yeah, but her teammate might
And to change,
wait a few more seconds. No, they're not waiting any time to make the change. I mean, we've got two Ecuadorian lifters competing against each other, two Chinese lifters competing against each other, and two Ukrainians who compete against each other, trying to be the top pick for their country. It's all-out warfare here in the women's 81 kilo category. This is an enormous lift here for the Olympic champion from the 76ers. A kilo more than her personal best.
Much
new
better
record if she makes it to move into the lead. Can she hold it? She wobbles, but she's gonna make it.
Two
red lights.
The jury is stopping, though. Yeah. The jury may overturn the ref's calls.
Now, to me, the elbows, the jerk itself looked quite good. It was the potential lack of control that she showed.
That would be my guess.
When she put her feet back together, but she was given the down signal, and then she starts lowering it, maybe a bit prematurely.
We see them reviewing all the way to the end here, not just the elbows.
You have to wonder,
I
that
think
might be a good lift.
What a stark contrast if they do overturn this and give this lift.
It's not the elbows, surely.
Yeah, they're looking at the end here. We see them watching her drop the bar.
So to explain, if the referees give you a down signal, but you don't actually have the bar under control, and you then drop it, they can take it away from you. Once you get the down signal, you have to still show that you're in control before you drop it.
Yeah, the down signal is given once
given
two
there,
judges agree.
The jury has confirmed the referee's decision.
Wow, they're not going to give her the lift. They're going to play the challenge card. I mean, they might as well. It's potentially futile. You know, Max, if anything, they could do with a side angle of this.
And the juries.
They could do with a side angle, because really the bar is drifting forward as she gets the down signal, and she lets it drop.
The jury has already done a video review. A challenge is not permitted. So, next lift, 147, please.
So they're not allowed.
Liang Xiaomei.
Have we not seen that before, though?
Well, that's the first we've heard that's the case. We've seen that many times, this competition, where jury does a review and then they are challenged.
But apparently they're not allowed to. So that's Neisi Dajomes ending with 258 kilos. It currently puts her in bronze medal position, but we have the opening attempt now for Liang Xiaomei, the 2016 Junior World Bronze medalist. That's all we know of her. And this will move her into the lead and bump Dajomes out of the medal position.
Strong clean.
Yeah, huge extension with the hips.
A very powerful jerk.
There goes Dajomes into fourth as Liang Xiaomei moves into gold medal position on her opening attempt. A totally unknown athlete, just so strong.
Second attempt, Tamara Salazar, Ecuador.
So now we're going to see what Salazar is made of here.
I wonder if she'll take this just to move up ahead of Iryna Dekha.
Potentially a smart
small
move.
2 kilo jump.
No, she's moved above that.
Okay, she's
Medina, Cuba, third attempt.
Now this seems likely.
Yeah.
Looking maybe for a clean and jerk medal. Again, it won't put her into a medal position, but it might put her into a clean and jerk medal position, depending on what else happens.
Wants more weight, that will take the barbell to 148
She's going up.
kilograms. Wang Zhouyu.
Okay, Wang Zhouyu, if she hits 148 kilos, it will put her into the silver medal position, bumping Iryna Dekha down into bronze. She'll then sit behind Liang Xiaomei, the two-time world champion, the Olympic champion. Wang Zhouyu currently doesn't sit in any medal position, either in the snatch, clean, jerk, or total. She's the best weightlifter here throughout her career.
148, 7-kilo jump here.
She's made 160 kilos previously as an 87. So powerful.
Very high pull, but that recovery was a bit strained. Strong jerk again.
Jerk. Wow. Now, she's going to be an athlete who, on her third attempt, I'd almost fancy her going for a power clean more than a clean, because she pulls that bar so high.
Yeah, potentially.
It almost looks like she could catch it standing rather than have to try and squat it.
So Salazar is
How high she pulls this.
taking 48, it looks like, unless she bumps.
So 48 will put it into bronze medal behind the two Chinese lifters and bump the two Ukrainians who took gold and silver in the snatch out of the podium spots.
For how smooth her opener was, this lift should be pretty solid.
Should be comfortable. And then I'd just love to see what she wants to go for on that third attempt, assuming she makes this.
A very big Ecuadorian contingency in the audience here. She's done 150. Beautiful clean.
So strong. Nobody makes it look like that. Nobody can jerk it like that either.
Just looks so comfortable, so easy.
Unbelievable. She moves into bronze now with 262 kilos. Silver is 263. That's Wang Zhouyu. Gold, currently, the lead is 265. That's Liang Xiaomei. Unbelievably, both Ukrainians now out of the running.
Yeah, the leader in the snatch, not even on the podium in the total here.
Medina Roca has an attempt now at 148 kilos. This is not to move into a podium spot in the total, but it is to potentially move into a podium spot in the clean and jerk, assuming that nobody else makes a single lift, which is quite the assumption. If any lifter after her makes a lift, she won't end up with a medal. Points to the elbows.
You know, right off the floor, you could see her legs basically completely straight in the first pull.
No lift, Medina.
Chest fell down. She just did not have the position there to maintain that.
Yep, 6 kilo jumps for both lifts, just a bit too much.
At the 2022 World Championships.
So 4 attempts remain.
Automatic increase. Tamara Salazar.
Salazar has 149, but that's the automatic increase, so she'll bump up.
I assume she's going to bump to at least 51. That would be a personal record for her. And
you'd think 52, though, to move into the lead ahead of Xiaomei.
Yeah, she might.
150
it has to be said, she looks physically stronger than the other two, I would have thought.
Called for 50, though, so maybe she's just going to take this lift.
I would be stunned if she went for it.
Unless
she's going up to 151, yeah.
Wang Zhouyu, China, third attempt.
Okay, so Wang Zhouyu, I think, may come out for this. It's a smart call. It will move her up into the lead above her teammate Liang Xiaomei. And also, 3 kilo jump looks about all she's potentially got in her. The pull isn't going to be an issue. She's incredibly strong. It's going to be the stand that gets a little bit more tricky for her. She's clearly got some sort of injury that she's dealing with. Only one knee sleeve on. Bit of extra support in the right leg.
She has an incredible pull. Catches that bar so high and rides it into the squat.
Oh, she can barely get up with it. This jerk will be incredible if she makes it.
Wow.
Oh my word. That is unbelievable.
You can't win if you can't jerk.
You cannot count out an Olympic champion, a 2-time world champion looking to become a 3-time world champion. And right now, despite having the worst snatch day of her career with 115, she currently sits in the lead.
So Salazar going for
a very odd
151
call.
doesn't give her the medal in the clean. and
it
jerk.
puts her into the.
It doesn't
This
move her up.
just keeps her in bronze.
A bit
It's
odd.
a 1 kilo personal best. If she added 1 more kilo, it would move her into silver. If she added 2, it might move her into gold.
With the ease the first 2 lifts were, I'm sort of shocked she's only taking the 51.
Yeah, very strange call here.
A 1 kilo personal record for her.
That seems to be the most reasonable thing.
Getting
She
a
wants
bit-
that personal record. Wow, you know, some athletes
yeah.
can make 99% look like 80%. You add another couple of
Noted,
kilos to the bar,
Yeah.
in this case 3 kilos, and it all falls apart.
2
Yeah.
attempts remaining. Both belong.
You really could not have predicted
Liang
that after
No.
seeing her 148.
No, I did have
China.
a suspicion that maybe it gets
Second attempt at
just
152.
hits a brick wall like that, but
Time begins.
Now,
Still.
Max, we have 2 attempts left for Liang Xiaomei. This attempt will put her into the lead. Her third attempt, might
potentially
we see a jump to 159 for a world record? It would be a 7 kilo jump, might be a bit too much.
let's see how this one looks.
Yeah, let's see how this looks first.
We've seen bigger jumps or the same size jumps from smaller weight classes. She's got to make this first to get into the lead. Currently a kilo behind first place, her teammate. Solid clean.
It's incredible. Wow, she's going
Little
to take it
walk
for a
forward.
walk, but
Yep.
she's going to get that lift. And we have a new world champion. She's not competed for 6 years. She's gained 6 kilos in body weight, and she hits 270 kilos in the total. So, do you think she's going to give it a go? I feel like she should either decline or go for it. No
think
other
she
lift
is.
makes sense.
I think they're telling her to sit down. I think the coaches are headed to the scores table to at least declare.
Some sort of weight. She'll probably call for something like
Yeah, she's got the
55
something.
first. And then they're going to buy a bit of time, and then we might see another world record attempt.
I do see a price tag on that robe.
So
Possibly
clearly,
to purchase that.
they are, yeah, we can buy those.
I think-
2XL, that might fit us as well.
Yeah.
So
Let's see what we get here
such a
change-wise.
strong clean.
153 is just the automatic increase. They've obviously declared that. We'll see if they make a first change to something like 55 to bring out the loaders and stop the clock.
Now, we've not seen a clean and jerk on the women's side world record. We've seen a snatch world record. We have seen 2 men's clean and jerk world records, Li Fabin and Carlos Nassar.
We saw 1 attempt at a world record from the 49s, I
Yeah.
believe. Wasn't
Yeah.
there. Very close.
Jiang Huihua attempted 120,
Liang
but wasn't able to
Xiaomei
get up with it.
has secured the gold medal in the total.
Is she
She's now
going
going
to
to 155. We'll see where she goes
155 is
next.
what they're asking.
55 is the logical jump here.
Buys her a bit more time. They'll ride down the clock a little bit more. And
Yep.
then I think we're going to see a request put
yeah.
in for 159 kilos for a world record. The world standard currently at 158. She has to surpass that if she wants to get the world record. The world standard essentially acts as a placeholder when the weight categories change. The IWF decides what weight has to be hit
The world
for someone
record
to
in this
officially
category
own
is
a world
158
record. They decided that you have to
kilograms,
outlift
standard.
158 to get one. No one's been able to do that so far. Liang Xiaomei might be
And
able to
she's
do it.
going for it.
Yep.
159
Okay,
on the barbell,
we're going to see an
please.
attempt.
This is a huge attempt. 7 kilogram jump to the new world record. She's going to exceed that world
She's
standard
got a
by
gold
a
medal. Let's
kilo
see
with
what she
this
can get a
lift.
world record as well.
She has a bronze medal in the snatch, a gold in the clean and jerk in total. Can she get a world record? This is bad news for Wang Zhouyu, who wants to be China's top pick for this category.
Got 20
in the clean and
seconds.
jerk, Liang
get to the bar
Xiaomei.
He
here.
has to
She's
run.
running.
I don't know quite how they've let this time run down. 12 seconds on the clock. This is a dramatic end. She runs over to the bar. This for a world record.
Wow.
And she can't get it. you have to wonder what the coaching staff were doing, leaving it so long. They know how this works. They know exactly how long they have. It's not like they have to worry about anyone else. That was a bizarre way to attempt a world record with such a panic at the end.
Yeah, a seemingly large number of almost, I would say, clerical errors that we've seen in some of these sessions. Selection of attempts that wouldn't break records, or timing issues, or miscalculating warm-ups. Potentially just maybe getting the cobwebs out here for these World Championships, the Olympics.
So the gold medal goes to China again, but in a different athlete. So Liang Xiaomei, 270 kilos. She snatched 118, clean choked 152. The silver to her teammate, the two-time world champion, the Olympic champion Wang Zhouyu, with 266. And then the bronze medal to Ecuador. It's Tamara Salazar with 262 kilos. And then the Olympic champion from the 76ers, Neisi Dajomes, did not get a medal in any of the lifts. Iryna, who took the gold in the snatch with 122, was ousted from the podium spots in the total. She ended up with 260 kilos. And her teammate, who also lifted very well, ended up with 256 kilos. So an exciting battle here from the women's 81s. We're going to be back in half an hour for the women's 87s, where we get to see a great battle between the world champion, Meng Jianshan, and several other challengers. We'll see you all then.